Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of the Players NIL podcast. My guest today, I'm so excited to get to know a little bit more about her and share her story. Zoe Schweitzer, gymnast, retired from Ohio State, the Ohio State University. Zoe, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Cool. Well, we have lots to talk about, and I start every podcast with the same series of questions because I want it to be relatable. I want people to understand that you didn't just parachute in today to where you are. This journey started many years ago and probably took lots of turns. But let's start with your childhood and your interest in sports. Tell me about your early memories of either going to a sporting event or participating. What sports did you play? That type of thing.
Okay, so long story short, my mom was a gymnast, a coach, and then a judge for gymnastics. So I was bouncing on a trampoline before I could walk. Started when I was like 1 year old. So I've always been in gymnastics. I tried a few different things. I tried like soccer. I kicked the ball in the wrong goal, and I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't like to run. So tried a few different things. Fell in love with gymnastics. So I stuck with that throughout my high school career. Went the elite path, which is like the Olympics, like that kind of style. Decided I wanted to, pull it back so I could work towards college. So I started doing my visits in like 8th grade. Recruiting was very early for gymnastics. They've like since pushed it back, but I went on a few visits, toured Ohio State, loved it, committed my freshman year of high school. High school went well. I actually had a shoulder surgery. It kind of relates to some things in the future that we'll probably talk about. My junior year, I was out the full year, tore everything like off the bone. It was dislocating. Like I couldn't like do anything. It was so weird. But so that was that. Had my senior year. It was great. Came to college through athletics, obviously a student athlete at the Ohio State University. So blessed here. The opportunity at Ohio State, especially now with NIL, which we'll talk about, just the education, everything with the school. It was just a blessing to be here. Had my first season. Got cut because of COVID, went home, came back my sophomore year. That was a good year. The year after was my junior year. This past year, one of the best like times of my life, like was doing very, very well. Obviously back in NIL, my season got cut short because I broke my foot, had to put a screw through it. And then this summer, I was just, really working on the networking and the education and NIL specifically. And ended up medically retiring because I have an autoimmune disease, and it was just causing immense pain, immense swelling and inflammation. And I was like, I wanted to focus on my long-term health, my current health. So that was the best decision for me. And what you just said, I'm lucky enough to be a student assistant coach this year. So that's kind of my like athletic story in a nutshell. Want to stay involved in gymnastics, whether that's I don't know, doing little camps or something like that, just to get back to the community. It's given me so much. Or stay involved in like other sports. I really enjoy football and cultures of other sports I love to learn more about.
Cool. Well, you're a competitive athlete. You ran right through the first.
I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, we just.
It's all good. Let's go back to high school though. Let's go back to the Players NIL. My company is about using athletics to better your life. Obviously, you were given great opportunities from your family. Your mom was a coach, so you had early exposure. As a freshman in high school, your dream probably came true that you could use athletics to get to college. But tell me about the lessons that you learned in athletics. What did it give you? I'm talking about freshman year, sophomore year in high school. Go back to that time. What were the things that you thought you knew that weren't true, that you didn't know that became true? In the competitive arena, outside the competitive arena, go back to the mindset of a freshman in high school thrown into the arena of recruiting. What are the things that you learned in that period? Let's keep it to that period, that early recruiting process and your decision process. What are the things that you learned? What did athletics give you?
Okay. I might go like a 1 year back if that's okay, because my 8th grade year was huge. But just with like the elite path, I was training 35 hours a week. So I learned initially what hard work will get you and what technique and basics. So I kind of have carried that into my everyday life of my routine, the structure of my morning routine, some different things in my life to make sure I'm balanced, to make sure I'm going to set myself up well for the future. And then my 8th grade year, I actually won nationals on the uneven bars. worked so hard that year, and same thing, like just the hard work. And I had like injuries, and I just kept like pushing, getting back up, through that process. And then, yeah, my recruiting visits, that was such a great opportunity. And then through high school, obviously it's up and down. And I did online school so I could dedicate more time to the sport. And then, yeah, same thing, just like the injuries, especially with my shoulder. I think I was training on it for over a year, and just use that to better understand myself and have better self-awareness of how my body is feeling, how the people around me are. And in turn, that's helped me in my everyday life, just evaluating where I'm at, how I'm doing, how I can better myself, and then how I can in turn better the people around me.
So young girl today, 8th grade, talented, dreams of going to college, 9th grade, 10th grade, recruiting's probably changed. It's probably a little bit later in the cycle now. What are some words of wisdom to, the Zoe Schweitzer of today that's 8th, 9th, 10th grade in beginning the recruiting process? What kind of nuggets can you share?
I would tell that girl, be authentic in who you are. The coaches can see it. They can see the passion that you have and the love that you have for the sport, and just continue to work on the details, because that's really what's going to get you very far in life. Just the little things you could do, be nice to people, be kind to people, and always reach out to see how someone's day is going. And especially in the recruiting process, like there's people on the other side of the phone, on the other side of the email. So connect with them and build that relationship.
Awesome. Great advice. So, our mission again is using athletics to better our lives.
Yep.
You did that.
Love it.
Unbelievable career, unbelievable opportunity. You got your education, going to graduate in a couple months from the Ohio State University. So now you have a chance from a social media standpoint, from name, image, and likeness. You've been named one of the Meta 2.0 honorees. Tell us a little bit about that program and your involvement with Meta.
Yeah, so that program, so I initially went to the NIL Summit. That was the inaugural summit back in June. I got selected to be to represent Ohio State, which was a huge opportunity. So I just went there. I did a lot of networking, connected with some people at Meta on LinkedIn, reached out to them, and then I saw that they were doing the Meta Empower 2.0 program. I've talked to some people that were in the first one, the HBCU program, which I heard was a great program. And I really wanted to be involved, because just everything that they are doing, like the education piece, preparing us for life after our sport, in our career, NIL, brand deals, and that, kind of networking, kind of what your guys' purpose is as well, preparing you for after sport, which I feel like in NIL, there's just like huge opportunity in that. And I don't think enough people are taking advantage of it, which I'm thankful for you guys. But yeah, just the program I'm so thankful to be a part of. We were talking about earlier how yesterday we had a meeting, and it was on like reels and just branding yourself, and the best way to help yourself when doing a brand deal, and making sure that you're in front of the camera, you're talking to your audience, it's very engaging, all these things to help you, do better on social media and provide more value to anyone that you work with.
But you're using this platform to send a message and to share with people, young athletes out there, probably typically young girls, because that's kind of your history.
Yep.
Social media is a blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah.
There's lots of good things. There's lots of dangerous things, especially for young women. What are some of the things and the advice that you would give for now Zoe Schweitzer, high school senior, committed to college, a freshman in college, wanted to become part of the NIL world?
Yeah.
Things that you would caution them against, encourage them to think about, some things that you learned?
Yeah, I would say I'm going to bring this into it just because it was a huge part of my life, but I struggled with body image issues for a very long time. And social media does not help that, comparing everyone's highlight reels to your everyday life, and you're looking at yourself in the mirror every day, feeling like ashamed and feeling like you should look a certain way. But I would just say, before you go on social media every morning, like look at yourself in the mirror, tell yourself you're beautiful, tell yourself that you love yourself, and like 5 qualities that, makes yourself you. Like no one is you, and that's your power. And just, I don't know, that would be my main advice. Just find love with yourself, and then you'll be able to help others more whenever you log into Instagram. And once you're confident in who you are, you can help other people, and therefore, not compare yourself. Everyone has a different purpose in life, and that's so beautiful. And I realized, like, through that time, that I wouldn't want to be anyone else, and how I can help people, how you can help people, how the players in IL can help people. It's all, interchangeable and like working in different ways. So like there's just so much power in being you and finding that love in yourself. So I would say that.
Awesome. I have 2 daughters, and I think those are great words of wisdom. And I as a parent, I have developed this philosophy that I think the 2 greatest things that you can give your kids are opportunity and self-confidence. And I think lots of ways to do that. You can do it through math and science and travel and art and cooking. And my family, my experience with sports, yours obviously with sports. So confidence and opportunity, sports has given that to you. And you're a great example of that. My congratulations to you for getting where you are today. So I think, and congratulations to all those that helped you, your parents, your friends, coaches, your teammates, and all of that. So that's exciting. So now you're retired, you're helping out, you're going to graduate, you're going to go to grad school. Tell us where you're at and tell us where you're going.
Yeah, so I'm actually graduating a semester early this December in sport industry. And then I'm going to pursue my master's degree in sport management here at Ohio State. So I'm just going to continue to network, within the community, get to finish out coaching in April at the end of our season. And then the plan, I'm not really sure where I want to go yet. Just doing a lot of experience working with Learfield, which is a corporate sponsor. Their work with the corporate sponsors of Ohio State Athletics. So working, football games, basketball games, to earn some experience, and then working with another NIL company to try and see, which realm of like sport I want to go into. There's a lot of opportunity, obviously, especially with now NIL. So I don't know exactly where I'm going. I believe like God's going to lead me to, where I got to go. So I just want to show up and serve people and impact people. So that's the main goal.
Great. I just thought of a question. Besides sports, what are your passions?
Okay, so we already talked about body image. That's something I really want to help, female athletes. There's a lot of, it's very difficult, I would just say, being a female athlete, especially being a gymnast. You're wearing a very tight leotard. You're being scored on, your performance and who you are, how you look, your appearance, especially with the dance, the cheers of the world. So that's something I'm very passionate about. I'm very passionate about my faith. For me personally, I wouldn't be nowhere without God, without Jesus. And he's carried me through a lot of parts of my life, especially, the month of September, very recently for my medical retirement. It was the most heartbreaking, but best decision I could have made for myself. So very, very thankful for that. And then you actually mentioned this earlier about cooking. I love cooking. I taught myself how to cook. So I love doing that. I love baking. And then another passion of mine is the Special Olympics. So I have an aunt that is intellectually challenged, and she's lived with me for the past 14 years. She's much older than me. But I did an internship with the Special Olympics of Ohio this summer, and I got to work the summer games. We host one at Ohio State, and just seeing the look on those athletes' faces after they finish a race or finish a competition, it just warms my heart, and the love that they have for everyone around them just brings me to tears and makes me just speechless. So just to get back to that
pure joy, right? Pure joy.
Yeah, pure joy. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. So career-wise, you're unsettled. You're going to work in sports management. You'd like to stay involved with sports, user experience.
Yeah.
Socially, you're active. Philanthropy, community service are important. All those types of things. Tell us where our fans can follow you. What are some of the places that they can find you online?
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So Instagram is at Zoe Schweitzer, ZoeSchweitzer, and then my TikTok and Twitter are ZOEO. My middle name is O'Connor, so I'd always be called Zoe O, but ZoeOSchweitzer. And then if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I love that app. So that's something I wanted to say just about the players NIL as well. I don't know, just be an athlete. As an athlete, you have the opportunity to network with a lot of people. A lot of people want to hear your perspective, and, getting on LinkedIn. That's how I was connected actually with Mark. So I'm very thankful and got connected with the players NIL. So it's huge.
Awesome. Any brands you want to plug? Who are you working with these days?
Shout out Meta. I have to say I'm so thankful for them and everything that is on the way. So I'll say that.
Well, listen, it's a pleasure to talk with you. And I met you a couple of weeks ago, and I knew that you were a special person. And I know you're a special athlete, and I know you're going to do great things in the world. And the Players NIL is happy to have you on the podcast, and we certainly wish you well and love to stay in contact, and anything we can do to help you, we certainly will be here for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Have a great day.
You too.